The entire NBA world had the same reaction, rubbing their eyes, refreshing Twitter, and asking, is this even real? Luka Doncic in a Lakers jersey, Anthony Davis in a Mavericks uniform. This had to be a hoax, right? But no, it wasn't. This was real, and now the NBA has a Dallas Mavericks problem. Most people are calling this the biggest blunder in franchise history, and yeah, it's easy to see why. Trading away a generational talent like Luka, that's the kind of decision that haunts a front office for decades. But what if we're looking at this all wrong? What if this trade wasn't just a Mavericks mistake, but a symptom of something much bigger? Because maybe this isn't just about Dallas. Maybe the entire NBA is walking into a problem they can't fix. Let's break it down and talk about why the NBA now has a Dallas Mavericks problem, only here on Sports Frenzy TV. Before diving into what this trade means for the Mavericks, let's talk about what it means for the Lakers. Because from their perspective, this isn't just a trade, it's a front office masterpiece. A move so good they might as well throw a championship parade just for the executives. Think about it. They just swapped a 32-year-old injury-prone big man for a 26-year-old perennial MVP candidate. One who, let's not forget, dragged his team to the NBA Finals practically kicking and screaming. Luka isn't just great, he's in a different category. Only one player in NBA history has a higher postseason scoring average than him, and that's Michael Jordan. This is a guy who embarrasses elite defenders for fun. Remember that moment against Rudy Gobert when he effortlessly maneuvered to score? That's Luka. But here we are, less than a year after one of his signature moments, and the Mavericks decided to pack up the Luka experience and send it to Los Angeles. Naturally, everyone is calling this highway robbery for the Lakers. But here's where things get interesting. What if the Mavericks actually won this trade? At first glance, this trade seems like a disaster for Dallas. But if you listen to Mavericks GM Nico Harrison, their reasoning is pretty straightforward. Defense wins championships. The Mavericks didn't believe they could win it all with Luka's defense. Now, is Luka's defense that bad? Bad enough to trade away one of the most gifted defensive players in NBA history? Or was this trade about something else entirely? Because if defense was really the issue, wouldn't they have just built a stronger defensive core around him instead of shipping him out? The answer might lie in 2026. That's when Luka's contract situation gets tricky. The looming fear in Dallas was simple. If Luka walked for free in 2 years, they'd end up like Cleveland in 2010, watching their franchise superstar leave with nothing in return. The front office couldn't risk a repeat of history. And then there was another growing concern, Luka's conditioning. While his offensive wizardry is undeniable, there were multiple seasons where he entered training camp looking less like an MVP candidate and more like someone who had spent the off-season testing every menu item at Texas Roadhouse. That was a red flag for Dallas. So they had a choice to make. They wanted defense. The Lakers needed offense. And that's where Anthony Davis came in. Despite all the injuries, the Twitter slander, and the endless memes of him in street clothes, Anthony Davis is still one of the most dominant bigs in basketball. Standing at 6'10 and 253 pounds, AD is a two-way force. He can score, rebound, block shots, and even switch onto guards when necessary. Here's a defensive juggernaut. His journey started back in Kentucky, where he won an NCAA championship before being selected first overall in the 2012 NBA draft. The Pelicans drafted him over names like Bradley Beal and Damian Lillard, and for 7 seasons, he was their everything. Then came the trade request. AD wanted out. New Orleans resisted. Clutch Sports got involved. We all know how that ended. LeBron made the call, the Lakers pulled the trigger, and AD landed in LA. The result? A 2020 NBA championship. Now he's in Dallas, and the big question is, does adding AD actually make the Mavericks a contender? One thing is for sure, Anthony Davis is finally getting what he's been asking for. Back in 2019 at his very first Lakers press conference, he made it clear he preferred playing power forward instead of center. The Lakers never fully accommodated him. But now, Dallas is giving him exactly what LA wouldn't. With Derek Lively II and Daniel Gafford anchoring the center position, AD no longer has to take the nightly beating of playing the 5 full-time. Jason Kidd has already confirmed their lineup when fully healthy. PJ Washington at the 3, AD at the 4, and either Lively or Gafford at the 5. This is a game changer for Davis and is exactly what is wanted for years. But Dallas isn't just rolling the dice with AD and hoping for the best. They're following two proven blueprints, the 2020 Lakers championship team and the current Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs have been one of the best defensive teams this season, largely due to their twin tower approach with Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. This setup works because Mobley, like AD, isn't a true center. He thrives alongside a defensive anchor, allowing him to roam and disrupt without carrying the full burden inside. If Mobley and Allen can make it work, there is no reason Davis and Lively or Gafford can't replicate that success in Dallas. But there's one big challenge. The Mavericks have to figure this out on the fly. The Cavs had a full training camp to build their system around their bigs. Dallas? They're trying to implement it mid-season. The amount of assets Dallas has thrown at big men in recent years is wild. A first-round pick for Christian Wood, a first-round pick for Daniel Gafford, their 10th overall pick on Lively, and now their franchise superstar for Anthony Davis. If that doesn't tell you how much Nico Harrison and Jason Kidd believe in this blueprint, nothing will. And it might actually work, because now Davis isn't alone. With Gafford or Lively protecting the rim and PJ Washington providing versatility on the wing, Dallas is finally building a defense-first identity. For years, people have been saying the Mavericks need to take defense seriously. Well, guess what? They just did. Offensively, Dallas just became even more dangerous. While everyone's focused on Luka leaving, people are forgetting that Kyrie Irving is still there. And now, with AD as his pick-and-roll partner, that's the problem. Kyrie can score at all 3 levels. He can create off the dribble. And now he's running the pick and roll with one of the most dominant bigs in the league. And if defenses collapse on AD, they leave Klay Thompson wide open. That's the nightmare scenario for opposing teams. This trade wasn't just about adding AD. It was about unlocking the full potential of this roster. Kyrie and AD will run the offense. Klay gets to be a pure shooter again. And on defense, AD finally gets to be the game-changing force he was back in 2020. This is the big question. Did the Mavericks just crack the code on a championship formula? Or did they just set themselves back a decade? One way or another, we're about to find out. Anthony Davis is officially the new face of the Dallas Mavericks. He's not Luka. No one is. But let's not pretend he's some consolation prize. The real question is, will this roster click the way Kidd and Harrison envision? Or will the whole experiment blow up before it even gets off the ground? Because one thing is for sure, the NBA has a Dallas Mavericks problem and the rest of the league better be paying attention. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more deep dives, hit that like button, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Catch you in the next one.